Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I have invented the 5-minute meeting. All right. Ashland City Council meeting of July 7th. The city administrator started with the COVID update, and apparently the regular parks bathrooms are opening, so maybe they're cutting back on porta potties. That was unclear. Car camping is still allowed, and there are 30 cars in a specific area that are allowed to camp in the town there. And then rent moratorium. The city is talking with the state about extending that, and Medford has a new homeless campsite park, and the mayor sent a letter supporting that, and the staff is wearing masks when appropriate. And then the city administrator's regular report. The 4th of July plaza shutdown went well. And then next weekend there will be more street shutdowns. And this one said, hey, can the barricades be less ugly than they were? And the city administrator, yeah, we're working on that. And then this guy goes, hey, maybe there could be some kind of like an art competition to decorate those things. And the city administrator said, so parking enforcement is back on, and it will be ticketing again, but at a lower rate. And new marijuana tax money came in. We have an extra $30,000 more than expected. And then there was some vague explanation of leveraging communication to centralize auxiliary tools for the newsletter proposed by this one and this one, these two. I don't know where that ended up or exactly what that was about. Then there's electricity utility charge. The city's getting charged $150,000 less next year, and somehow Bonneville Power, that's our power company, did that somehow. And then this guy goes, hey, what are those hotel and restaurant tax estimates coming in at? And the city administrator guy goes, I'm going to get those to you like August 1st. And then the consent agenda. Oh boy, this guy says, some cop price budget increase question was completely unclear. Something about nonprofits and e-cog. That was unclear exchange. This one added to the unclarity is some contract for something for public works and asked if they could get contracts sooner. And then the city beard guy said, sure. And this was a discussion about things using shorthand and then the public's going to understand what that was about. And so it was over and all approved. So then the next thing, request for the clean fuel credits. Ashland gets state utility credits for having lots of electric cars and charging stations. And the state program just started, and Ashland can sell our credits for $300,000 right now. And this one says, I move that we get that final price on those credits and see what that final number is going to be. Everyone approved. And then a little vague discussion as to whether they're just going to sell them and then say how much they sold them for, or figure out how much it is and then ask to sell them. Unclear. Then okay, this is part of the meeting where this guy gets confused, tries to skip a bunch of things, and then we end up listening to the Hersey Street construction recap. So City Beard guy says the project was approved for $4.5 million, and it got done for $4.2 million. And then this guy goes, that's an excellent job. Under time, under budget, good job. And this guy goes, hey, what's the next project for you guys? What's going on there? And then they said all Mountain Avenue and Ashland Street, but we're going to wait till next year because the virus diminished budget. And then this guy lost track of what was going on again. And then the food and beverage tax amendment ordinance. So the city staff comes up with a confusing general ordinance change because years ago the voters approved a food and beverage tax that would go to parks and then pay for the water treatment plant debt and then street repairs. And so the ordinance changes in some terrible way. That I think they wrote it poorly. The city still owes 2 years of water treatment plant debt. That's $1.6 million per year. And in the old plan, restaurant taxes were going to pay for it, but virus and all that's in the garbage. That's not working out. So this one said something about truthing out refinancing wastewater debt. But what she wants to borrow money. Instead of delaying, so the street fund gets loads of money, and this new ordinance won't take away street fund money. And then this guy goes, yeah, but the people voted on this thing, so we can't just go change it to whatever we want. He goes, I think we just at least get a price on getting a loan for more money so that we can do everything and continue doing street stuff. And then bring that to the next meeting of the 1st, whatever that term, how much it would cost to get more money. That's all approved. And then there was like a Zoom meeting problem, very much like a Progressive insurance commercial, and then a social equity and racial justice resolution. So this one says, he says she reached out to the shareholders in the city and the role of the city in stuff like racial justice. And so she's got a resolution that says, put social equity in city projects, create a Juneteenth Black Culture Day, work with the county and state, engage Ashland police with the SOU campus, intrinsic bias training, Black Lives Matter signs, MLK celebration, work with the county on mental health issues, review city hiring process, work with indigenous peoples to change the name of dead Indian road. It was a pretty long list of stuff that she was all excited about, her resolution there. And then this one goes, hey, my friends in the black indigenous communities of color want this resolution tabled and want to have a say in this. Want to sit at the table. And he goes, hey, a lot of people of color like this thing. And he goes, yeah. But it was written only by white people. And so this guy goes, hey, we can only do, what do you say? He goes, this is great. We can only do what we can do. And this one says, he goes, I want to make sure, I want to support this so people know that I support people of color, of course. And then this one says, but this is from an all-white council, so it's problematic. And then he goes, nah, this is good. This is pretty good. And then he goes, yeah, but we mean well. And then this one said, and we met with a whole bunch of people over this stuff. And then the mayor just like, where's that guy? He late in the game threw in something about Latinx and LGBTQ and the Japanese. They all ignored that appropriately. And then this one said something about following up with future works and future amendments. And then this guy tried to call the vote, but she skipped and left the meeting. And so they decided they were going to vote anyway, and that her vote was probably no. And so they called the vote, and that whole thing approved 5-1. End of meeting.